Tell me what you would love to do if you could do anything. Do you
I just love when people connect. I love watching when people connect. I love being in the hub of that when people are sharing an experience that they're not ever going to have again. They're there for this moment, and it's fantastic.
You should hear yourself.
And it can be.
Go ahead.
I thought about actually. I know nothing other than the fact that I like tea. I thought about opening a tea room, and utilizing it to hold events, whether it be a baby shower or.
You don't have to open a tea room. No. You can find a tea room that doesn't have enough business and ask if you can have Mondays, and you'll bring in a lot of people. It can even be a coffee room, but on that day it's a tea room.
Okay.
There's somebody you ought to look up on the internet. I read about him 25 years ago in an American Airlines magazine, I think, and his name is Jim Haynes. I don't know if it's Haines, James, or Hay, but when he was in college in Canada, he had a little coffee shop.
Okay.
And his favorite thing in the whole world to do when people came in was sit down and talk to them and then sit them with somebody else. He would sit a ballerina with a banker. He just loved it when the sparks started. Yeah.
Don't you just love that experience? Like when you're sitting in a laundromat and you kind of strike up a conversation with someone. Don't you love that? It's just like out of the blue. It doesn't matter what they do or who they are. It's just a fantastic moment because you're just connecting with this person. And I would love to do something that has those kind of moments.
You should hear your voice. We found your gift. We got it. We got it. Now, if you don't want to do the musical thing I think you probably ought to do it anyway, an event, because then you'll get known as an event planner, you'll get work, and it'll be wonderful. And a lot of the people who are doing it will connect in a wonderful way.
Right.
But you might also want to combine it with finding a tea shop or a coffee shop or something that isn't doing a lot of business, and say, I'm a volunteer at Gilda's Club and we're going to be putting on something, and we kind of meet a central meeting place, and I wonder if we could serve what days you're slow or your days that you're closed. If we promise to get everything set up and clean the place up, it would be good for business. People would know about you, and we're going to get written up in the papers. It might be good publicity, until you found some place where you could also do what Jim Haynes did.
Okay.
Why don't you go looking for that? But look him up, because he wound up in Paris. He ended up in Paris. I went to one of his things about 7 years ago. He ended up in Paris at an atelier where, quite by accident, somebody wanted to stay with him, didn't have any money, and said, I'll cook for you if you just get the food. And she cooked for about 15 people. And so he started having Sundays where everybody pays $20 except students. And you get all the food you can eat, and you hang out outside and inside, and everybody just meets. Because he's like you. He's one of those people like you, just loves to see people get together like that, without any structure, and just get to know each other.
Yeah.
So why don't you see if you could combine that, if there was a place, because you don't want to have to open and run a place. That takes up all your time. But you do want to be in charge of what goes on.
I figured I would open it and put my sister in charge of it, because she likes that kind of stuff.
Okay, but to start out right away without a whole lot of planning and no investment, no money, that sort of thing, you might just want to find a place where you can make it happen. Just a place. And if it has to be a church, then just serve tea at the church, right? Mm-hmm. They always have extra rooms on Saturday afternoons or something.
Right.
And you make it a tea room, and you have tables, and you just introduce people to people, right? It can be connected with Gilda's Club or not.
Okay.
And do all your planning at the event, the musical for Chorus Line. Do all your planning there that you're not doing at home on a piece of paper. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if that worked out nicely, would that kind of solve your problem for now?
That would be great.
Okay, I needed to hear that. I'll tell you something. If you put on an event, and when you put on an event, do you know anything about getting a promotion for it?
Yeah, I've done several events.
Beautiful, beautiful. Then you just make sure the newspapers know about you. The radio shows are asking you to talk on the phone to them about how it's going. And all you do is you're not asking for any money, you're just talking about the fun of people meeting and what's happening, so that it gets known that this is your baby, you are planning it. You know, you're not the star, you're the person behind the scenes, everybody else is the star, but you're making it happen, okay?
Right.
You'll get work, even if you drop out of event planning school right now. You'll get work. You'll get work.
Okay.
You'll make money.
Okay.
That's wonderful. And remind me when we talk again by email, because you will email me. That's a promise, I assume.
Okay.
Okay. Have an event where you teach, where you run classes for one-person businesses and you teach them how to do administrative stuff, or start a little business of your own in addition to what you're doing, which is administrative stuff for one-person businesses, where you help them on the internet and you show them what to do, or you do it all and you get paid for it. You'll make more money that way. So then you'll be happy, you'll be doing good, and you'll make money. To me, this sounds like a good thing.
Sounds great.
Okay, you have to do it now, so you have to stay in touch with me.
Okay.
Okay, because you're gonna think about it, and then you're gonna, oh no, this won't work. That's okay if you think that. That's fine, but you just can't go away.
I am that person. I kind of freak out afterwards.
Everybody does. Everybody does. Everybody freaks out afterwards. I expect it. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's why halfway through school right now I'm freaking out, going, "Oh my gosh, did I really?"
I'm not worried about school. You do this when you get off. If you freak out, write me right away. Say I'm freaking out. Here are my negative thoughts. I just want to hear them. That's all you have to promise, is not to go away, not to stay positive. Forget positive. Feel anything you feel.
That really doesn't work for me anyway. So okay.
Okay. Good for you. Good for you. Okay, I'm waiting to hear from you.
Okay, sounds great.
Sure thing. Bye bye.
Thanks, Barbara. Bye.
You know, she's got everything she needs to do this. She's an administrative assistant who's organized. She loves to do events. She does events. She's in event planning school, freaking out. She should drop out. She doesn't need it. She said, I'm not sure there's any work. There isn't, unless you start putting on events that everybody writes up about. You know, the newspapers in your town write about. And then maybe we get you a little further than that, like on Facebook, and get the world to know about you a little more. Then you'll have work. But you should have heard her voice when she was saying she liked my idea, but she said she liked musical comedy, and that's why I went there. But then she said, don't you love it when you sit down and you just start talking to somebody and you wouldn't have talked to them otherwise? And don't you love it when you get other people to do that? And my thought was, no, I don't. But you do, and that's a talent. You should have heard her voice. She's got to do that. I got to find the Jim Haynes thing and put it up on, it's the second person who should be doing that. Nice one, nice one.